So I want to move right into our first speaker, my colleague John Knight, our statewide Reading Pals director. He has been with the program since the beginning, and over the last 12 years worked with so many of our partners to launch Reading Pals, to bring thousands of reading mentors to thousands of young students in Florida. So he'll be talking about our reach, impact, and growth. And John, over to you.
Thank you so much, Madeline. 12 years is certainly something to celebrate. So over those years, I've enjoyed a long, winding journey of what was initially a 3-year initiative, now well over a decade, and heading into our 13th year this fall. We've evolved in a number of ways. Are you there, Bianca? But our core principles have remained firm. So since the beginning, we've always believed in the importance of supporting an early love of reading through mentorship, providing early literacy support to young students who need a little extra attention, while building social emotional skills critical to their development and their future success. Our base model includes screening, training, and matching of volunteers with students from VPK to 3rd grade who are reading below grade level. They're selected for the program based on the reading assessments, teacher selection, and requires parent permission. A local curriculum is provided for our volunteers, which is used during their weekly sessions of 60 minutes or 2 30-minute sessions. All of our Reading Pals students receive take-home books at least monthly. So this past year, we had 15 regional Reading Pals programs managed by United Ways and some of the other organizations that Madeline referenced earlier. Some of our partners cover multiple counties, leading to Reading Pals sites currently in 20 Florida counties. Here's a glimpse of some of our key metrics, and I'll talk more about these in the following slides. The metrics shown here are for volunteers and students with a minimum of 6 sessions. That plus number includes volunteers and students that joined in the spring. So sometimes we do have late additions to the program, and the hope is that they will continue the following year. Our program has been steadily growing since COVID. And while our number of locations hasn't notably increased, we've been able to add participating classrooms as our partnerships with our schools continue to improve, along with more available volunteers. Our 180 locations and 560 classrooms include public schools, after-school programs, early learning centers, and a few charter schools, as well as a few private schools. As our number of volunteers increase, we're able to reach more students. And by the end of the year, we had more than 1,600 volunteers, with 1,500 plus volunteers completing at least 6 sessions. Our primary model is one-to-one, but we do have some pre-K and kindergarten programs where a mentor may work with a pair of students, never more than 3. This allows us to match nearly 2,700 students with a mentor by the end of the school year. So these are all high points for us over the last 3 years. And the same goes for take-home books. This is an essential piece of our program where books are contributed anywhere from once a month to sometimes weekly, depending on the program. More than 40,000 books were donated to our students to build at-home libraries last year by our local programs. We have a very exciting statewide project in the works that will include a statewide list of take-home books by grade, ensuring that high-quality, consistent materials are provided to all of our students. Our program operates for at least 25 weeks, but some volunteers join later in the school year, leading to less sessions. Our baseline goal is for at least 50% of our volunteers to have 19 or more sessions. This year, 58% reached that mark. And that leads us to our student engagement rates. Our baseline goal for students is also 50% for 19 sessions or more. And about a quarter of those had the full 25 sessions for the year. We have to navigate challenges such as absenteeism, changing schools or classrooms, or late volunteer recruitment. So again, our priority is for the vast majority of our volunteers to be screened, trained, onboarded, and matched by the month of September so that we can begin reading as early as possible. So I'd like to highlight some of the results from our statewide volunteer survey. We had 972 responses, which is 250 more than the year prior. We really do appreciate all the time that you took to share your experience. When we talk about commitment, we ask our volunteers to join our program again for 25 to 30 weeks. And our growth over the last few years is a combination of new programs and new volunteers, but also around 50% of our participants returning for another year to help us build a foundation for the future. And nearly a third of our volunteers participate for at least 3 years. Some of them much longer than that, 10, 11, and even 12 years. What I've found is that most of the people who aren't able to continue, they cite changes in work, school, health, moving, or some significant life event that prevents them from being able to continue. The next two areas to focus point back to our pillars of social emotional development and early literacy. Now, 93% of our volunteers were encouraged with the progress of their students in building relationships and self-confidence. This is a great sign for their social emotional health. And 90% were encouraged by the progress of their students' early literacy skills. You're going to hear more on this firsthand from some of our partners later this afternoon. So mentor to make a difference. This is the main reason we do this work. Yes, it does benefit us personally in a variety of ways when we spend time with our students. I know that so many of you have seen firsthand their bright, energetic spirits, and they have the ability to recharge our batteries. My reading pal, Destiny, she makes me laugh and smile in a way that just about no one else can. She's making me smile right now, actually, just thinking of her. But back to my point, 92% of you believe that you're making a lasting impact. The time we give on a weekly basis to build relationships and service, another adult role model can absolutely help shape a young child. So 72% of our volunteers said they'd like to return, and I hope that all of them do. When we asked if you would recommend ReadingPals to others, 94% of you said yes. While this is incredibly positive, I will be the first to admit that our program is not perfect. But I can assure you that our ReadingPals coordinators and I push each other to listen, to improve, and to evolve every single year. So we appreciate your patience whenever we're experiencing local transitions or changes, which does happen. We all have other responsibilities in lives to navigate when it comes to volunteering and whether we're able to commit to something like this. But it's undeniable that nearly all of you want to be involved in your communities in an impactful way. And that's why you're all here today, clearly because you care. So we received more than 1,400 extended responses from those 2 questions on our survey. And I can promise you that they're all being read. They've been shared with all of the regional programs. I've read through hundreds and hundreds myself. From heartwarming testimonials to some constructive feedback that we do need to hear. I'd like to close with a quote that embodies one of the special moments of ReadingPals. You can almost see the gears in their brains activating and lighting up. And then the light comes on and they say the word. It's an amazing moment for both of us. So I'd like to extend our thanks on behalf of our ReadingPals program to the parents, teachers, and administrators for allowing us to work with your children and your students. And my closing ask today and every year for that matter, please consider joining or staying in our ReadingPals community and help us reach thousands of children that need all of the extra attention, instruction, and love that they can get. So thank you.